Big news today. We're covering the biggest deaths hitting the national news this week, the third week of August 2026. I'm Linnea Crowther, your host. I'm also the news editor at legacy.com. You can read full stories on most of these people right there and leave your own words of support on their page.
Sad news for rock fans. ZZ Top drummer Frank Beard died August 17, 2026. He was 77 years old and he passed at his ranch in Richmond, Texas. For years, his powerful drumming drove huge hits like LaGrange, Gimme All Your Lovin', and Legs. Here's a twist. Beard was the only guy in ZZ Top without a beard.
Big loss for sports fans everywhere. Bill Rasmussen died August 18, 2026 at his home in Land Lakes, Florida. He was 93 and Parkinson's disease took his life. Here's why he matters. He and his son Scott had a wild idea, a sports channel running 24 hours a day. That idea became ESPN. Rasmussen changed TV forever, and people are calling him a true visionary. Before all that, he served his country in the U.S. Air Force as a supply officer.
Here's sad news from British TV. Actress Phillida Law died in August 2026 at 94. She showed up in shows like The Sarah Jane Adventures, Kingdom, and Midsummer Murders. But there's more. She was the mom of famous actresses Emma Thompson and Sophie Thompson, and acted with them in Much Ado About Nothing and The Winter Guest.
Football world is in mourning today. O.J. Briggs died August 17, 2026. ALS took his life at just 56 years old. He played linebacker for the Miami Dolphins, the Baltimore Ravens, and other teams. He even helped the Ravens win Super Bowl 35, landing the game's very first tackle. After football, he stayed with the Ravens for over 20 years as Director of Player Development, fighting ALS bravely the whole time. Baseball just lost a legend. Tommy John died August 15, 2026, at his home in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. Bladder cancer took him at 83 years old. He pitched for the New York Yankees, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and more teams from the 1960s to the 80s, earning 4 All-Star spots along the way. But here's what made him famous. In 1974, he had a groundbreaking arm surgery. That surgery still carries his name today, Tommy John surgery. Hollywood is saying goodbye to a legend. Mark Rydell died August 13, 2026, at a nursing home in Los Angeles. He was 97 years old. He earned an Oscar nomination for directing the beloved film On Golden Pond, and he also directed The Rose and For the Boys. But he wasn't just behind the camera. Rydell also acted in movies and shows like The Long Goodbye and As the World Turns. Heartbreaking news for 90s kids today. Christy Knowings died August 11, 2026, at a hospital near Los Angeles. She was only 46. A severe asthma attack took her life. Fans remember her from All That, the hit kids sketch show, where she starred alongside Kenan Thompson, Amanda Bynes, and more. She also lit up screens on Sesame Street, appearing with her twin brother, Chris Knowings. Sad music news today. Derry Brownson died August 13, 2026. A brain tumor took his life at just 55. He founded the keyboard sound for EMF, the band behind the huge 1991 hit Unbelievable. Fans remember his fun, wild spirit, both back in the 90s and during the band's more recent reunion shows. Reality TV fans are shocked today. Tyler Duckworth died in August 2026 at just 44 years old. No cause of death has come out yet. He first hit screens on The Real World Key West back in 2006. From there, he competed on 6 seasons of MTV's The Challenge, winning it twice. Fans are calling him a favorite and a tough competitor. Soul music lost a star today. Ruby Andrews died August 13, 2026, at age 79. Back in the 60s and 70s, she had soul hits like Casanova, Your Playing Days Are Over, You Made a Believer Out of Me, and Everybody Saw You. She was a beloved face in Chicago's soul scene, and she earned a spot in the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. Football fans, here's more sad news. John Nyland died August 15, 2026, at his home in McKinney, Texas. He was 82. He played offensive guard for the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles through the 60s and 70s, anchoring the Cowboys line when they beat the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl VI. Before the NFL, he made his mark as an All-American at the University of Iowa. Gospel music is grieving today. Nikki Ross died August 14th, 2026, at just 52. Her cause of death hasn't been shared yet. She sang gospel from Houston, and fans love songs like There Is No Way, He's Been Just That Good, and Sunday Kind of Love. People are calling her a gospel icon, one who worked with big names like Kirk Franklin, Ricky Dillard, and Gladys Knight. Australia lost a big star today. Johnny Young died in August 2026. Pancreatic cancer took him at 79 years old. Back in the 1960s, he was a pop hit maker in Australia, with songs like Step Back, When Will I Be Loved, and All My Loving. He's also remembered for hosting the long-running show Young Talent Time. What an incredible life! Actress Peggy Weber died August 15, 2026, at a living facility in Napa, California. She reached 100 years old, and natural causes took her. Her voice was everywhere on the radio, especially on Dragnet. On screen, she appeared in Orson Welles' Macbeth and Alfred Hitchcock's The Wrong Man. She's also remembered as an early scream queen for her role in the 1958 horror film The Screaming Skull. The book world lost a great one today. Author John Crowley died August 8, 2026, at his home in Conway, Massachusetts. He was 83, and complications from dysphagia and dementia took his life. He won the World Fantasy Award for his 1981 novel Little, Big, and his 2018 book Ka, Dar Oakley and the Ruin of Emain earned a nomination too. Fans also remember his works Engine Summer, Beasts, and The Solitudes. This one is heartbreaking. Actress Hayden Panettiere died August 16, 2026, at just 36 years old. No cause of death has been shared. She became a star on Heroes, playing cheerleader and superhero Claire Bennett. Then she earned a Golden Globe nod for playing country singer Juliette Barnes on Nashville. Fans also remember her in movies like Remember the Titans, Bring It On All or Nothing, Ice Princess, and the Scream films. Next month marks 25 years since the tragedy of September 11, 2001. Here's something you might not know. Legacy was just a tiny startup back then, and our very first big job was building the first ever online memorial for the people who died that day. Since then, millions of people have visited, and hundreds of thousands have left their own memories and tributes. To honor this week's anniversary, we redesigned and relaunched our September 11th memorial. It's a living space that keeps growing, where people's stories stay alive for future generations. Find it today at legacy.com. We also just dropped a behind-the-scenes video showing how the memorial came together. Watch it next, right here on our channel. It's not just today's news we cover. Legacy.com also honors people who passed away in years gone by. Here are this week's big anniversaries. 5 years ago this week, we lost musician Charlie Watts. He was 80 years old. For 58 straight years, he drummed for the Rolling Stones, powering #1 hits like It's All Over Now, Angie, and Start Me Up. 25 years ago this week, the world lost singer and actress Aaliyah. She was only 22. She scored her first hit single at just 15 years old, then followed up with beloved songs like Are You That Somebody and Try Again. She also wowed audiences on screen in movies like Remember the Titans, and wowed audiences on screen in movies like Remember the Titans, Bring It On All or Nothing, Ice Princess, and the Scream films. Musician Keith Moon was born 80 years ago this week. He died in September 1978 at just 32 years old. He drummed for The Who during their biggest hit-making years in the 60s and 70s, powering classic tracks like My Generation, Pinball Wizard, and Baba O'Reilly. TV host Regis Philbin was born 95 years ago this week. He passed away in July 2020 at 88 years old. People called him the hardest working man in show business, thanks to a jam-packed career hosting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, and America's Got Talent. Actress Nancy Kulp was born 105 years ago this week. She died in February 1991 at 69 years old. She's remembered for playing Miss Jane Hathaway on the Beverly Hillbillies, plus movie roles in Shane, Sabrina, and The Parent Trap. Every week across the United States, flags drop to half-staff to honor Americans whose communities are mourning them. Here are the latest half-staff flag honors from around the country. In Virginia, flags are flying at half-staff for Appomattox County Deputy Burley W. Duval III. He died in the line of duty.
Virginia flags are also lowered for Delegate Floyd H. Miles, Sr. In Nevada, flags are lowered for Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Officer Austin Abdul Nabi. He died in the line of duty. In Wyoming, flags are lowered to honor Ann Simpson, wife of the late Senator Alan Simpson. In Colorado, flags are lowered to honor State Representative Lois Landgraf. In Michigan, flags are lowered for Detroit firefighter Patrick Trout, who died in the line of duty. In Minnesota and Alaska, flags are lowered for wildland firefighter Leslie R. Washington. He died battling wildfires in the Superior National Forest. In Louisiana, flags are lowered for technician 5th grade Gurney J. Richard of the U.S. Army Air Forces. He died a prisoner of war in the Philippines during World War II. His remains were just identified, and now he's finally home for burial.